I shouldn't reveal this, but I will, because I have nothing to protect and you have everything to lose by not hearing it. I shouldn't reveal this, but Osho warned you. The secret that frees your soul is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for those who want comfort. It is for those who are ready to die before they die. When I say the secret that frees your soul, I am not talking about some mystical mantra or a hidden teaching in a book. I am speaking about something so close to you that you've overlooked it all your life. I'm speaking about the truth that you are not who you think you are. You have never been that person. And this realization is the key to liberation. You have lived your life as a mask. You have protected it, decorated it, even prayed through it. But I tell you, your soul is suffocating behind the plastic smile you call yourself. The world has trained you to be someone you are not, and you have obeyed, thinking that obedience was love, that conformity was peace, that belonging was happiness. But Osho warned you, these are the cages that look like gardens. Every society, every religion, every family, they have told you who you must be. Be good, they said. Be successful. Be normal. And you agreed, not knowing that with every yes, a small part of your soul was dying. You have been living as a shadow, chasing the approval of ghosts. I should not reveal this because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you taste the freedom that comes from knowing who you truly are, the world you once knew will start to crumble. And perhaps that's why I must reveal it, because destruction is the beginning of creation. Look within, right now. Don't wait. Who is listening to my words? Is it you, or is it the voice that society placed inside your head? That voice that says, don't believe him. This is dangerous. Stay safe. That voice is not yours. It's your prison guard. The real you is hidden behind layers of borrowed thoughts. You call it my opinion, my beliefs, my morals, but none of them are truly yours. They were poured into you like water into a mold. You became the shape that others desired and forgot the ocean you came from. You see, freedom is not given, it is remembered. The secret that frees your soul is not something to be learned, but something to be unlearned. And that is why I shouldn't reveal it, because once you begin to unlearn, you will lose everything that made you comfortable, your identity, your certainty, your place in the world. But in losing all of that, you will gain something greater, yourself. People come to me asking, Osho, what is enlightenment? And I tell them, enlightenment is not an achievement, it is a disappearance. You don't become enlightened, you disappear into it. You vanish, and what remains is vastness, silence, truth. But the mind is terrified of disappearance. It clings to identity like a drowning man clings to a straw. You are so identified with your personality, your name, your face, your history, that to lose it feels like death. And indeed, it is a kind of death. The ego dies and the soul is born. That's the warning. That's what I shouldn't reveal. Because people want freedom without transformation. They want enlightenment without death. They want the light, but they fear the burning. And I tell you, you cannot have one without the other. So before I continue, pause. Feel this moment. Let these words sink into your being. Are you truly ready to know what will free your soul? Because if you are, then everything familiar in your life will start to tremble. Your relationships, your ambitions, your beliefs, all will begin to look like costumes you once wore for a play that has now ended. And then comes the silence, terrifying and beautiful. In that silence, you will meet yourself for the first time. And that meeting is the beginning of liberation. So I shouldn't reveal this, but I will. Because truth is not meant to be protected. Truth is meant to explode. And I want you to explode into awareness, into love, into life itself. You have been asleep for so long, dreaming of freedom, while the key has always been in your hand. The secret is not hidden. You are hidden. You are the secret. And when you understand that, you will laugh. You will laugh as Buddha laughed under the Bodhi tree, not because he found something new, but because he realized there was nothing to find. When I say you are the secret, I mean something radical, something that will shake the ground beneath everything you believe about yourself. You are not a person. You are not a mind. You are consciousness itself, pretending to be a story. You are the witness who has forgotten his own watching, and this forgetfulness is the root of all suffering. You are born pure, vast, unbounded, a simple presence, breathing with existence. Then came the conditioning, words, rules, names. Slowly the infinite was squeezed into a shape. You began to believe, I am this body, I am this personality, I am this past. And from that moment, you started to die. Because everything you think you are will die. Only what you truly are cannot die. The society never wanted you to be free. Freedom cannot be controlled, cannot be taxed, cannot be manipulated. That's why every system, political, religious, moral, has worked hard to tame you, to domesticate your spirit. You were born a lion, but they taught you to behave like a sheep. They called it education. Osho warned you, beware of the respectable man, beware of the successful man, because behind their smiles hides deep emptiness. They have traded their souls for the approval of others. They walk confidently, but their steps echo with fear. Fear of being exposed, fear of being themselves. I shouldn't reveal this, but let me say it anyway. Your misery is not an accident. It's designed. You were trained to chase dreams that keep you asleep. You were told to become something, to reach somewhere, to prove your worth. And in doing so, you lost the simple joy of being. Look at the world you live in. Everyone is in a hurry to arrive, but no one knows where they are going. Everyone wants to be someone, but no one knows who they are. And yet, when I tell you to stop, to simply be still and look within, you resist, because silence is dangerous. It exposes the lie. That's why you fill your life with noise, with television, work, social media, endless conversations about nothing. You keep yourself busy because stillness is unbearable. In silence, you cannot escape yourself, and that is the confrontation the mind fears most. You have been taught that thinking is intelligence. It is not. Thinking is mechanical. Intelligence begins when thought ends. The mind is a machine. It repeats, it projects, it judges. But consciousness is alive. It is not a function, it is your essence. Once you see this, something extraordinary happens. You begin to watch your thoughts. You realize that thoughts are not you. They are clouds passing through the sky of your awareness. And the moment you stop identifying with them, a gap appears, small at first, but widening with awareness. In that gap, the secret reveals itself. That is the space where the soul breathes. That is where freedom begins. But remember, this is not comfortable. The ego will fight. It will whisper, "This is nonsense, you're fine as you are." It will use fear to drag you back into sleep, because the ego lives only in identification, and awareness is its death. So I must ask you, are you ready to die to your false self? Because that is what it takes. Not tomorrow, not in another lifetime. Now. The door to freedom is always now, but you keep postponing. You say, "I'll meditate later. I'll seek truth when I have time." Let me tell you a secret. Time is the greatest lie ever told. There is no later. There is only now, and now is the doorway to eternity. You don't have to seek enlightenment. You have to stop running. You don't need to add anything to yourself. You need to drop what you are not. The moment you stop chasing, you fall into yourself, and that falling is rising. That surrender is victory. When Buddha sat under the tree, he was not seeking something new. He was simply tired. Tired of the search, tired of the mind. In that exhaustion, he gave up. He dropped everything. And in that dropping, truth revealed itself. You can do the same. But first, you must be courageous enough to lose what the world told you is precious. Reputation, identity, control. These are chains disguised as jewelry. You think they make you shine, but they only keep you bound. I shouldn't reveal this, but the soul cannot be free until you are ready to be naked. Naked in truth, naked in awareness, naked in existence. And nakedness is frightening because you have been living in costumes all your life. But I promise you, once you strip away every false layer, what remains is pure beauty, the kind of beauty no mirror can reflect. So, are you ready? Because this journey is not about finding paradise somewhere else. It's about burning the false paradise you live in, the one built on fear, guilt, and ambition. And when the ashes settle, something timeless will bloom within you, something that was never born and can never die. You have been told that the path to freedom is a long journey, that you must struggle, discipline yourself, purify yourself, sacrifice. This is the greatest illusion of all. The truth is not far away. It is hidden behind the very idea that you must travel to reach it. You don't need to go anywhere. You only need to stop. The seeker must disappear for the truth to appear. As long as you are seeking, you are moving away from what is already here. That is the strange paradox. The more you search for freedom, the more you remain bound by the search. The seeker itself is the prison. You think you are climbing a mountain, but in truth, you are just running in circles around the same illusion, the illusion of I. Osho warned you, beware of spiritual ambition. Beware of the subtle ego that wears the mask of the seeker. It says, I am special because I meditate, I am awakened, I am spiritual. But look closely, it is the same ego that once said, I am successful, I am powerful. The costume has changed, but the actor remains. And as long as the actor lives, truth will not enter the stage, because truth demands emptiness, a stage with no one left to perform. You see, the world has deceived you in one way, and religion has deceived you in another. The world told you to become somebody, religion told you to become a saint, but both say the same thing by become something. And I tell you, be nothing. Only when you are nothing can you be everything. When you are no one, you are pure consciousness, free from all forms. Then there is no center, no border, just awareness expanding endlessly. But the mind resists this. It says, if I am nothing, then what will happen to me? And the answer is nothing will happen to you because you will not be there. But existence will happen through you. Life will dance through you. Love will breathe through you. The problem is not that life has abandoned you. The problem is that you are in the way. You are so full of yourself, your plans, your fears, your image, that there is no space left for existence to enter. You keep saying, I want to find God. But God is not lost where you are. God is not hiding, and you are hiding behind your masks. And the moment you stop pretending, the divine is revealed, not as a person, not as an entity, but as the very breath moving through you. That is why meditation is not a technique. It is a death. It is the art of disappearing. When you sit silently and simply watch, you begin to dissolve. Slowly, the watcher and the watched become one. The observer becomes the observed. The drop merges back into the ocean. And suddenly everything changes. You see a flower, and it is not just a flower. It is existence expressing itself in form. You look into another's eyes, and you see yourself staring back. The boundaries collapse. And in their place, there is only vastness, a presence so total, so alive that it has no name. This is the secret that frees your soul, not by giving you something new, but by taking everything away. It empties you completely, until only awareness remains. But most people don't want that kind of freedom. They want comfortable chains, golden cages that shine beautifully in the sun. They want peace, but not transformation. Love, but not vulnerability. Truth, but not exposure. And that's why humanity remains asleep. You are in love with your prison because it gives you a sense of security. You prefer the known misery to the unknown freedom. But understand this, the known is always the past. The moment you cling to it, you are dead. To live means to move into the unknown every single moment. That is the beauty of being conscious. You live without guarantees. You walk without a map. You breathe without control. Only then can life reveal itself in its totality. People come to me saying, Osho, I want to be happy. And I tell them, drop the one who wants to be happy. Because the one who wants is the cause of unhappiness. The very desire for happiness creates misery. You are chasing shadows, and every time you reach out, the shadow moves further away. You will never find happiness by pursuit. You can only find it by presence. And presence begins when you stop. When you stop chasing, the chasing stops. And in that stillness, joy appears on its own, like a flower blooming without effort. The universe does not struggle to exist. Existence flows effortlessly, and so must you. But the mind loves effort, because effort creates a sense of I. Effort gives you a purpose, a goal, a direction, and without it you feel lost. So I ask you, why are you so afraid to be lost? Why is being without direction so terrifying to you? Because you have been conditioned to believe that meaning lies in movement. But meaning is in being, not in becoming. You were born perfect, you were born complete, and yet all your life you've been trying to become something more, as if existence made a mistake in creating you. This is the biggest insult to the divine, to believe that you must improve upon what there comes a moment when all words collapse, when all teachings turn into dust, when all your beliefs, even about truth, become useless. That moment, is the doorway to the real. You have been walking with the help of concepts. I must meditate. I must awaken. I must surrender. But every must is a chain. Even spirituality can become an addiction if it is pursued with the same greed as material success. Osho warned you, beware of becoming a spiritual achiever. Because the achiever cannot dissolve, the achiever must always remain. And as long as you remain, truth will remain distant. You ask, then what am I supposed to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just be. The moment you stop doing, existence begins to do through you. You become a hollow bamboo, and the divine plays its song through your emptiness. You see, the problem is not that life is complicated. The problem is that you are too full of opinions, full of conclusions, full of fear. You are so full of yourself that there is no room for the sacred. To be free, you must become empty, utterly empty. Only then can the whole enter you. But emptiness frightens you. It feels like death, and in a way it is. The death of everything false, everything borrowed, everything unreal. You have been carrying the corpse of your past for so long that you have begun to mistake its weight for identity. When I say, drop it, you panic. Because who will you be without your history? Without your wounds? Without your story? That's the ego's fear. It exists only through the past. It cannot survive the freshness of the present. Look at the flowers. They bloom without effort. They wither without complaint. Look at the stars. They shine without asking why. Only man suffers, because only man insists on being something other than what he is. You are not meant to be perfect. You are meant to be real. Perfection is an idea, a goal. Reality is already here, breathing, pulsating, alive in this very moment. You keep chasing the ideal of who you think you should be, and in that chase you miss who you are right now. That's why I tell you, stop improving, stop becoming. Just be present, even for a single breath. Be totally here. And you will see, in that single breath lies eternity. But you don't trust simplicity. You think the truth must be complicated, hidden in scriptures, revealed only to the chosen few. No, the truth is ordinary, so ordinary that the mind overlooks it. It is in the laughter of a child, in the sound of the wind, in the space between two thoughts. You don't have to climb mountains or renounce the world. You just have to renounce yourself, the false self. And that can happen right here, right now, in the middle of your everyday life. When you walk, just walk. When you eat, just eat. When you breathe, just breathe. And you will find everything sacred is hidden in the simple. This is the ultimate rebellion. To live without pretending, to live without masks, to live without fear. The world will not understand you. They will say you are mad because you no longer follow their rules. They will call you irresponsible because you are no longer driven by ambition. They will say you are lazy because you rest in being. Let them say what they will. Their approval is the price of your imprisonment. When you begin to live authentically, something miraculous happens. Fear disappears, because fear exists only when you are divided, when there is a distance between who you are and who you pretend to be. When you are whole, fear has no place to hide, and love, real love, arises. Not the love that depends on someone, not the love that possesses or begs, but the love that is. It flows naturally, effortlessly, because you are no longer separate from existence. You are existence. This is the secret I shouldn't reveal, but I must, because the world has forgotten love. It knows only attachment and dependence. True love happens only when there is freedom, and freedom happens only when there is awareness. When you live in awareness, every act becomes sacred. Even the smallest gesture, a smile, a breath, carries the fragrance of the divine. That is what it means to be awakened. Not to escape life, but to live it fully, with eyes open, heart open, being open. People think enlightenment is a lightning strike, a great event that happens once and for all. It is not. It is a continuous unfolding, each moment revealing another petal of your being. You don't reach enlightenment, you return to it. It was always here, waiting behind the noise of your mind, and once you see it, you laugh. You laugh because the whole journey was a joke, a cosmic joke. You were seeking what you already were. You were trying to find yourself while being yourself. That's why Buddha laughed. That's why I laugh, because truth has always been present, silently watching you search for it everywhere but within. So now, you know. I shouldn't have revealed this, because once you know, you can never go back to sleep completely. The lie becomes transparent. The game is exposed. You may still pretend for a while, smile at parties, play your roles, perform your duties, but deep inside, a spark has been lit, and that spark will grow. It will burn through every illusion you ever built. Slowly, gently, mercilessly. That is the secret Osho warned you about, the secret that frees your soul. Once you taste truth, you cannot untaste it. Once you glimpse reality, it will haunt you until you dissolve into it completely. You can run, but you cannot escape yourself. You can close your eyes, but the inner sun keeps shining. At first it may feel like chaos. Everything you believed begins to crumble. The familiar feels false, and the false feels unbearable. But don't be afraid. This is the sacred destruction, the death of the dream. The mind will panic. It will say, you're losing control, you're falling apart. And I tell you, yes, fall apart. Because only what is false can fall. The real remains untouched. You were never this fragile personality you protect so fiercely. You are the witness, the silent awareness behind every thought, every emotion, every rise and fall. You are the sky. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains. When you know this not as an idea but as experience, life changes. Not that your problems disappear, but they no longer belong to you. They arise in the vastness, and they dissolve in the same vastness. You become a mirror, reflecting everything, holding on to nothing. That is freedom. Freedom is not about doing whatever you want. Freedom is the disappearance of the one who wants. When there is no you, who is left to suffer? Who is left to desire? Who is left to fear? The world continues, but you are no longer caught in its drama. You act, but there is no actor. You move, but there is no mover. Life lives itself through you, effortlessly, gracefully. That is what it means to be liberated, to live without the weight of me. The ego is heavy, awareness is light. Sit silently for a moment. Feel your breath moving in and out. Don't control it, don't name it, just watch. That watching, that simple awareness, is the secret I was not supposed to reveal. Because in that watching, everything false disappears, and what remains is everything that cannot be destroyed, your true essence, eternal and free. People ask me, Osho, what happens after enlightenment? And I say, nothing. Life continues, but now you are not in the way. The birds still sing, the sun still rises, the body still breathes. The only difference is, there is no one left inside to claim it. It is the same world, but now it shines differently, because now you are gone. And in your absence, love happens, joy happens, compassion happens. They are not practiced. They overflow naturally because the barriers are gone. You see someone suffering, and you don't try to fix them. You simply hold space because you understand they are also dreaming, just as you once dreamed. And from that understanding, true compassion is born, not from effort, not from morality, but from clarity. This is the fragrance of an awakened soul, silent, loving, unattached. So yes, I shouldn't have revealed this, because once you hear it, your comfortable ignorance is finished. The old life will not satisfy you anymore. You will smile, you will work, you will love, but something deeper will always whisper, this is not it. And one day, you will stop running. You will sit in silence, and that whisper will become a song. In that moment, the seeker will vanish, and the sought will remain. The question will dissolve, and only the answer will breathe. And that answer is not a word, it is your being. Remember this, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. You have never been bound. You only believed in bondage. You have never been lost. You only forgot where to look. So laugh deeply from your heart, because you were never unfree. You only dreamed of chains. Now wake up. Wake up and walk into this very moment with your eyes open, your heart open, your being open, because this, right here, right now, is it. If this truth touches you, don't just agree with it. Live it. Let it move through you. Let it transform the way you see, the way you breathe, the way you love. And if this message resonates within you, share it. Not as a teaching, not as advice, but as a presence, because truth shared from silence multiplies itself. If this video has awakened something in you, let it echo in your life. Comment, reflect, stay connected, and above all, Stay aware. The secret that frees your soul was never hidden from you. It was you, all along.